Last year, the Rolex Sports Car Series Championship came down to the final round in Fontana. For the 10 car of Max Angelelli and Wayne Taylor, mechanical woes came early, and the series trophy went to Scott Pruitt and Max Pappas. But 2005 has been a totally different story. Angelelli and Taylor have won both of the races this year, and they look to be the dominant team. Today, the series returns to Fontana. Last year's championship disappointment is a distant memory for the 10 team, and all attention now is on win number 3. The Daytona prototypes go at it again from Fontana next. California Speedway, the San Bernardino Mountains in the background, site of round 3 of the 2005 Rolex Sports Car Series, the Ferrari Maserati 400. And the question that has to be on everyone's mind is, can the boys in black and gold, the number 10 Sunstruck team, can they make it 3 victories in a row?
But anyway you look at it, Dorsey, this racetrack, very difficult. It's another oval, combination road course oval, but it's a tough one.
Well, you've got 14 degrees of high bank, but where you come off of that down into this area, it's only 3 degrees. Big problems here and here. Turn 3 and 4, as those are, I call them crash corners. We're going to see a lot of action. Look at all this mess through here. 21 turns in just a 2.8 mile course. Very slippery infield. We're going to see a lot of passing and crashing.
Passing and crashing equal action. There'll be a lot of it today. We heard from Joey Hand in the pole-sitting GT car, but trust me, there are other cars out there, and Chris Neville standing by with another good GT story. Chris?
Brian, we're always talking about that explosive growth in the DP class, but this weekend GT gets another bump on their grid. New Century Mortgage is expanding its involvement in the Rolex series with the addition of the number 26 Porsche and Porsche factory driver Patrick Long. Patrick Long, always very impressive, lots of speed, has already at a young age won Le Mans, won Sebring, and is definitely going to add to the talent pool in this GT class. Very exciting class.
Oh, and a very exciting driver. The young Patrick Long, he's won Daytona, or he's won Le Mans, I should say. He's won the 12 Hours of Sebring, and the guys over in Germany have really hung a lot of high hopes on this young California Patrick Long. Let's look at the keys to the race, Dorsey.
First of all, I said it before, traffic. Getting all the way through all these different cars at different speeds without crashing into one another is going to be the key to going to the garage or going to victory lane.
Well, and you got to take into consideration tire management too, especially in the prototypes. They only have 5 sets of tires per weekend, and you already talked about Wayne Taylor opting to qualify on old tires, so he'd have 3 sets of stickers for the race.
Team strength goes all the way across the board. It's the guys in the pits, the guys in the garage. You have to be able to make these pit stops count and get them in and out quick, and if something should break, you have to fix it very quickly.
And tough luck, Dorsey, I think that almost speaks for itself.
Tough luck can bite anybody, and it's going to bite some of these guys today. You got to overcome it, but you can't dodge it.
With all these cars on the track, it can happen at any time and any place. A full DP field, lots of GT cars out there. We talk about traffic, and we're going to have some good shots of traffic for you. Look at our onboards. The blue are the Daytona prototype cars. The gold, number 22, that's one of the GT cars. You look at Luis Diaz right there in the 01. Milka Duno in the 2 car. We'll also have a camera alongside Wayne Taylor and Max Angelelli. There's Wayne Taylor right there. Chris Gleason in the 22 BMW, and Terry Borcheller in the 54 alongside Ralph Kellners as we come down for the green. And the flag waves, and Luis Diaz from his first Daytona prototype pole leads the pack around the Benke.
This will be the first time Diaz leads a pack around.
Well, this is where you talk about the excitement happening, Dorsey. We got cold tires right now. We're coming off of 170+ mile-an-hour straightaway into a heavy braking zone, and already 3 wide.
And this is where it gets really tight. You can make this left-hander, but this right cutback, you got to give and take. Most of these guys don't like giving.
And that's the 66 of your Bergmeister, who makes a tremendous move at the start. There's a split start here, the Daytona prototype start. And now we look at GT, and Julian gets a great jump in his BMW.
It's actually Bill Oberlin believing it was a great jump, but I don't think you're supposed to have a great jump when you get to the start-finish line.
Now, the problem with these split starts, Dorsey, you know it's going green. If you're a GT guy, they've got to throw the green. They just have to because they've already thrown it on the prototype.
That's very true. You know it's going, but I mean, still there's rules that you cannot pass anybody. Look at this. Keep breaking into this very tight part.
Patrick Long in that Porsche moves up inside the BMW. Holding on to his GT lead, but look at George Bergmeister and the lead that he's been able to pull out over the 77 car.
We've all been saying it's just a matter of time for this man, George Bergmeister, to win a race. He's very racing right now. He doesn't have to take him off the line.
That's Fabrizio Golan in the 77 car that is running in second place right now. Bergmeister, the lead that he has put on Golan is substantial, especially this early on. And I think that's one of the things about these young drivers, being good on cold tires. They're willing to go for it right off the bat.
Just here at the start, you can run these cars too hard and run the tires off. We're running right now on board with the Highway 54. This is the 54 car, and here it might have some smoke.
And California is, of course, a no-smoking state, so he won't be able to stay on the racetrack for long. Tough luck for this 54 Kodak EasyShare team.
He's got a cone right there trapped in the nose of it. There it is.
Yeah, he does.
That holed a radiator yesterday and caused a wind.
Well, it looks like we don't have to worry about it holding the radiator here, Dorsey, but what it is doing is blocking the airflow. And it is warm out here today, and the question is, how long can he run with that cone in the front of the car? And if it goes underneath it, what kind of damage is it going to do?
Well, you know, it's going to grind the bottom of the cone off, and sooner or later it's going to get sucked down underneath there. But I'm not even sure if you can see it. Maybe Calvin can help us out. Calvin?
Well, the team are aware of it. They've told Terry it's just a cone. Don't worry about it too much. Of course, we saw yesterday it did do some damage to some of the race cars. This cone's literally scattered there as you come on at the banking. But a big move for this team was over the course of the last couple of days, they tried to shed some weight on this car. 25 pounds they've got out of the car since Friday. They've actually taken out all of the drive rails, all of the cooling system, just to try and get that car down near the weight limit. They think that's a big factor on why they don't have the pace this year.
Well, Calvin, Terry Borscheller just did a really smart thing. Right when you were talking, he drove right off onto the bump strips on the outside and got rid of that cone. So obviously they told him it was in there. It was a concern. He did the right thing. He just shed it.
Well, to the fans at home, you may think that shedding 25 pounds doesn't mean much, but when these guys run simulation laps on their computer, they can tell you that 25 pounds is probably two-tenths, maybe 3/10 of a second at some racetracks. So weight is important, but it comes at the expense of that cooling aids, those cool suits that the drivers wear.
Here's how this cone business started out. He goes a little wide. There's a cone right there.
Boom.
Just tracked out too wide. Now, all those cones will be knocked out of there before the race is over. There's two left now.
Racetrack's going to get really wide. Borscheller right now under pressure from Cicero right there behind him in the Western S car, the Western S Crawford.
Dominic Cicero right there. It's a Ford-powered car. Chad McQueen will take that over later. It looks a lot like Steve McQueen's old car from the movie Le Mans. There's a reason for that. Of course, Chad is the son of Steve McQueen. And they're really developing this car, and he says he really likes it.
Well, Dominic has to be pleased with the performance that he's got in that car today, running with Terry Borscheller, who is a past champion in Daytona prototypes, and Cicero taking it to the 54.
It's a good idea how busy it is on the infield. Like I said, 21 turns on the track, but when you take the NASCAR banking way, it's like 19 turns within just a short period. He makes the pass nice and cool.
He made the pass relatively easily, Dorsey, and that's surprising. The Ford power plant is a little bit new to the series. It ran obviously in the Multimatics, and it has actually run before, but not a lot of guys running it. So the development of that power plant hasn't been that extensive. As you ride with Terry Borscheller now looking out of the back of his machine at one of the Sitco Crawfords.
That's a 14-degree bank that he's on, but that's not to say that they can take it completely wide open. On new tires with a really good setup, yes, you can run the banking flat out, but as the tires degenerate a little bit, you have to start watching it.
There's Bill Oberlin in his BMW being hounded by Patrick Long. Good battles all around California Speedway. 2.88 miles worth of competition, and these guys using every inch of that 2.88 miles. Right now, Oberlin leading Patrick Long. But the battle in GT is heating up, and the battle throughout Daytona Prototype heating up as well. We'll catch it all for you when we come back.
16, 17, 21, 22 cars.
Shank Racing this season. Paul Mears has his number 6 machine out on the banking right now. Chris.
Ryan, down here with Mike. Mike, you and Mike Shank have really gelled lately, running up front at Homestead, running up front again here today, but some problems with Paul right now on the racetrack.
Yeah, the Shank guys have given us an awesome car again. And, you know, we're maybe a tick off. We were really awesome at Homestead. Maybe a tick off there, but we got a good car under us. Paul, I think, just had a little spin, but if we can keep it on the lead lap, I'll get back in there and take the gloves off at the end.
Well, that's what Paul's doing right now. He's still getting on the lead lap, so hopefully you'll see Mike Murkowski back in at the end, run to the front. Brent?
One thing he's going to have to watch out for after a spin like that for a novice driver, you lose your concentration, Brian. As you know, it's so hard to get yourself back on track again. Look on the side of the car there. He's made contact with someone. Oh, look at the front of the 01.
What is that? It looked like a banner of
What is that?
some type, or is it a cone?
It's a cone.
It's a cone caught in the windshield wiper of the 01 car.
That's a distraction. Speaking of distraction, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've gone full course yellow again, but from on board the 01 car was,
Oh, man. That was Porsche hit it, threw it right up in the face of Luis Diaz, who catches it on the windshield wiper and now is looking right at it.
You don't think he flinched?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, flinched.
It has lodged itself on the windshield wiper of the 01 car, and luckily the full course yellow has come out, and that will give them an opportunity to dive to pit lane and remove that.
That's why I was never a proponent of these cones to mark the racetrack. I mean, this happens all the time. They always get hit. How would you like that in your face at 100 miles an hour, 150?
Conage.
That is conage.
Not carnage, but conage. That's what they call that. I can't even imagine. That's coming on to the banking there where that cone was hit. These guys accelerating through 100 miles an hour, and Diaz is going to bring that car to pit road. It's got to be removed, and your race leader, George Bergmeister, also brings his 66 Chrome Racing TRG Riley down pit lane also.
Amazing that didn't break the windscreen, quite honestly.
Absolutely it is. It is remarkable that it didn't, because that was a big hit. I believe it. Chris will be down at Chrome TRG. Chris?
Ryan, that's right. Jörg Bergmeister bringing the 66 into pit lane. He's been running so strong. Let's remember, this guy's really a GT driver jumping into this prototype. And really, these guys have led the way all weekend long on the time chart. So they're just going to do fuel, tires, get Jörg back out there. And also the 01 just came in trying to remove that cone. And Scott Pruitt is going to be hopping behind the wheel. Calvin.
The 10 Motorsports team brought the number 19 car in. Michael Valiente stayed behind the wheel. They did change tires, put fuel in the car. He had a bit of a moment trying to get the car out of pit lane. It seemed like the rev limiter was kicking in there, not allowing him to get enough revs to get the car moving, but he's back underway. Hopefully that's not a problem. One thing that team has done since the first round at Daytona is switched to a different gearbox, gone from the M-Code to the X-Track. They love it. It's a lot faster shifting, allows them to have a bit more horsepower.
The interesting going on right now, the interesting thing with the 01 car, there's a crew member in that left side door. You see his feet sticking out, Dorsey. What's in that side of the car that he could be working on?
Yeah, he could be working on a lot of things that we don't know about. Maybe it's the power steering. More than likely, he's looking underneath there for a fitting. The power steering rack might be up underneath there where your feet go, and he might be looking in there to see if he can tighten a hose or maybe possibly fix this non-power steering problem.
Take the opportunity, Chris.
Ryan, yeah, you're right. They are trying to down there. They're actually trying to check on some fuses down there. And you can see not a lot of damage on the front of the car from that cone. They've already removed that, so they're hoping that they can get that power steering fixed. And it looks like they probably got it done. They just changed the ECU in the car, so now they're getting Scott in the car. Luckily, they've got this caution, so they're not going to go a lap down. So hopefully these guys can get back to their winning ways.
Well, unlike a street car where the power steering is run off of a pump driven by the engine, these race cars have an electric fuse to that electric pump that powers up the hydraulics. To see if that was possible. The ECU, the electronic control unit for the engine, I don't know why they changed that.
He's going to know right now whether the fix worked or it didn't work.
I think it did. Look at his hands. He's one hand on the wheel.
Seems to be moving it pretty easily.
Yeah, he's not muscling in the car. I think they've got that fixed.
That's good news for Scott Pruitt.
And for us too. We'll go on that later. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad to see that. We'll find out from the pit guys pretty soon if it's fixed. See his finger here? That's on shifter, watch it. That's his upshift. Oh, Max not upshift. He's actually putting something down.
That's interesting.
He's got a paddle there on the left and the right, but he's using his hand for the shifter, so that's your shifter. Watch that. So that's a button for something.
The GT leader is in the pits. Patrick Long has brought the 26 New Century car in, and Calvin is there.
and they're doing a driver change. Everyone taking advantage. Right behind them on pit lane is one of the PTG BMWs, as Billy Orban, and it looks like he's staying in the car, going with fuel only, no tires. This team is doing tire change, putting Pat Flanagan behind the wheel, so they're going to give him a stint. I expect Patrick Long to finish this one out. So it should be a shootout today between BMW and Porsche. Bill Orban underway, overtakes the 26 car in pit lane.
Well, I think the 26 car is on the same strategy that the 6 car in. Pat Flanagan will take over the 26, and then they call Mirage out of the 6 car. You look at new shooters in the series, Stephanie Johansson obviously in the 02 car, McDowell in the 19, Limo Gidley, Guy Smith, Bergmeister, Matteo Bobby, Fabrizio Golan, Bobby, and Golan, new teammates of the series, and then of course Patrick Long in the 26 car. A good strategy, don't you think, Dorsey, to come in, put the more gentleman driver in the middle stint, and then put your hired gun back in at the end?
Absolutely, it's the right strategy, but more and more of these teams are getting away from the gentleman driver. As you saw from that graphic, there are a lot of the top guys in all of road racing worldwide coming into this series. 2 guys that are faster, better than this one.
Back on board with Scott Pruitt as you look from that car. Chris has Luis Diaz.
Brian, down here with one of those top guys, and he got his first pole here this weekend. How hard was that first drive without the power steering?
Well, it was pretty hard, especially when the power steering, sometimes it was coming on and off, so it was kind of hard to control the car sometimes, especially in the banking. You know, it's very unfortunate because, I mean, the CompUSA, Telmex, AMD guys, Chip Ganassi did a great job to give us a very competitive car. And I mean, we still have a good shot with Scott here, but, and I hope they can fix the problem.
They changed the ECU. Did you guys fix the problem?
I don't know. I haven't asked them, but I hope so. I mean, it could be the ECU. I don't know.
But we'll check back in with these guys and see if that power steering is fixed. This team just seems to be a little bit snake bit this year.
Well, they just told me a lot right there, because on the banking it would fail, but on the infield where we were watching Scott Pruitt, it would be back to power steering.
Well, a lot of action in pit lane during this full course caution. We'll get back to action on the racetrack when the green flies when we come back right after this. We'll see if Shane can close the gap in the braking zone. He does. But don't forget, it's Andy Wallace, the veteran sports car driver, right behind him in the number 2 Simco car. As you watch the rest of the there you go. Your crash corner, Dorsey.
Contact again. Those guys get together at the tire barrier, not the tire barrier. Now this is a long one. Scott Pruitt driving with intermittent power steering. That situation has not been fixed since the start of the race.
Back up front, Shane Lewis is getting a familiar view of Bert Frizzell's door and chassis. Right behind him, Shane doesn't seem to be able to do anything with him, and it seems like Frizzell has a little bit of the legs down the straightaway, but look at that.
Outside, that was pretty interesting right there. You see how bumpy he's on the infield. These guys really going hard at it.
Interesting or hopeful?
It was like a gold car on the outside. Not the best place, but he's not going to have the inside either.
You see Andy Wallace back there. I believe Michael Valiante in the 19 has gotten by Andy Wallace to take over the 3rd position.
Michael Valiante has a really impressive run.
Very impressive run. Now we'll take a look at Shane Lewis and see if he can keep that rival chassis up with the Dorn as they go down the long, almost 1 mile run over to turn 3. Both of the power plants, BMW power plants in these 2 cars.
That's good for Dynan, who built these 2 BMWs.
I was just going to say the same thing, Brian. The BMWs are now running 1, 2, 3. And talking to Steve Dynan, they've made a lot of progress with that engine since it really had its inception back at the late end of 03. In fact, he's lost 52 pounds of weight in the engine, and that's a huge amount. We talked about Terry Borchella, now that team is trying to shed some weight from their car. 52 pounds of the engine alone is certainly a big gain. The remarkable thing about that engine, which really stems from the M5 production motor, will do 4,000 miles before it needs to be rebuilt.
Well, you talk about big moves and big gains. Shane Lewis is the one with the big gain as he takes over the lead.
I tell you what, this is great to see. Shane Lewis struggled so hard with that ill chassis for the last 2 years and stuck it out, and now he's got a chance. And look at this.
Look at Valiente come up the inside of Giselle. You got to wonder if the tires aren't worn out on that number 8 machine as Valiente makes the move, but Valiente moving forward steadily. He's gotten past Andy Wallace. Now Bert Frizzell, he has his sights set on Shane Lewis, and they're driving very similar race cars.
Wow, good for BMW, good for Steve Dinan. Get these, he's been all along. This motor. You've got to get it up to the front. You've got to get the weight off of it. He's one of the good cars to have that happen.
BMW's fighting for the lead right now.
And this is the first time ever that the Schroeder car has ever led, ever in a Rolex series.
Yeah, Steve Southern has to be ecstatic with what he sees on the racetrack right now. He hired Shane Lewis to drive his Daytona prototype. You mentioned they struggled for a while. They switched chassis this year. They did it at Homestead. Shane Lewis is making the best of that change. There your DP leader, Shane Lewis, Michael Valiente, and Bert Frizzell. 3 BMW power plants right out in front.
As a driver who has struggled with a chassis that just couldn't get the job done for so long, with engines that weren't up to power yet, and just to stay to it, Shane Lewis right now leading this race. He is, I can't tell you, I know what he feels like inside. He is so pumped up, you can't believe it.
Shane gets pumped up on a regular basis. I mean, this is one of those guys, and a lot of the guys out there are this way, but Shane Lewis just wants to drive a race car. He doesn't care what it is. He'll drive anything. You see the first 2 cars go, and now Bert Frizzell seems to be falling back into the clutches of Andy Wallace a little bit, and Dorsey doesn't seem to be a power issue. He's got to think it's grip.
Yeah, it's definitely grip. Who's got it, who doesn't have it? I mean, everybody, you talk to everybody in the paddock over the last few days, and the whole issue has been grip on this infield. There just hasn't been any. Today, it looks like maybe it's for the first time has enough grip to race on.
A lot of racing going on as you look through the pack. There's 54 Borchello back behind him.
Struggling, but
He's going to be rolling out if he goes to the checker in that car without the power steering. But I think as you can attest to, Dorsey, when you're out there driving, you probably don't feel it as much. The yellows can actually be an enemy.
But for Scott right now, if he knows he's going to have to struggle through this for the entire race, he might get a cruise more, but he's saving himself for the end. You know, because you can't win the race from the middle. You have to get there at the end.
A lot of times people think that when the full course caution comes out, it gives you a chance to rest. But the other thing it does is give you a chance to realize how tired you are.
Yeah, that's unfortunately right about that. Those cautions make you feel how hot you are and how much your muscles are hurting.
Into the braking zone there. EFR up the inside of the 54 car.
Yeah, I thought the 54 almost went off, but it was EFR. Both of them got into the high.
Elliott overshot a little bit, cut back underneath, but Borchello side by side as they get in here into the hairpin. And look at Pruitt.
Got this. Got the bird gets in it. Bumping here. Bumping with the 54.
Terry's going, come on, man, you got to let me back on the racetrack and not run me out in the grass. And Pruitt's going, I do.
Wow, these guys get the
Out of the inside.
locked up brake. You saw the tire smoke.
And he makes his Borchello. Look at Johansson. Followed Scott Pruitt through. Pruitt opened up the hole, and Johansson came with him.
That's the other Ganassi car showing stars now.
Look at the debris and the dirt on the front of Borchello's windshield. Hard for him to see. Some lockup from Pruitt up in front.
He got real sideways right there. Remember, with his power steering issue, you can't sustain much of a slide and be able to catch it because the steering won't catch up with it. These guys dropping the wheels. Look at them. They're throwing curbs. They're throwing pieces of rocks at each other. It's crazy.
All those cones that were used to be right over there, those guys long since knocked them out of the way, using every inch of racetrack they can. But Valiente back up front, trying to take the fight to Shane Lewis.
Shane Lewis is absolutely on.
Those 2 cars have really kind of checked out over the 3rd place in the battle that was going on with Frizzell and Andy Wallace. And you wonder if Valiente hasn't settled into a pace a little bit, but as soon as I say that, he charges up hard the braking zone.
Well, that's why they're falling back, too, because these guys are cutting each other up real bad. You see everybody back there side by side going into that turn 3. Well, if you're going to make it side by side, you got to go half as fast as if you go by yourself, and that's why they're falling out.
Looks like the 10 Motorsport sports car, the number 19 of Michael Valiente, might have a little bit of an advantage in the infield. as that's where he's able to put the pressure on Lewis.
That little S turn right there is so bumpy. It's just really nice. Look at this. That was nice. That was a really nice maneuver right there.
And now look at Lewis trying to come back up on the inside. No, Valiente will take the lead, and what a nice move, the slide job up the inside.
Shane Lewis just a little bit lazy, left that door open, didn't really suspect it. Valiente said, nope, that's all I need. I'll take that.
Okay, Michael Valiente in the lead, the guy who wants to drive a champ car. You think he wants to drive a champ car now, or is he going to take winning in the prototype race if he can keep this car out in front?
Well, I think when you're winning in anything, you don't want to care about anything else. Take a look at this. A lot of speed on here. Just dives down to the inside. Shane Lewis had no clue whatsoever that was about to happen.
You saw Shane just start to turn in, and he realized the car was there, and he couldn't do it. And at that point in time, he went, I cannot believe I just did that. And look at the lead Valiente has been able to pull out. It'll be interesting when they get back to the infield. That's where the 19 cars seem to have the strength.
That's what the Michael Valiente didn't just make that decision on that lap. He made that decision 2 laps ago. He looked at that and said, there's my spot. That's where I'm going to get it.
And there's a look at your GT leader, Bill Auberlander. The GTG BMW seem to be running really strong here, Calvin.
It really is having a great day, and his teammate Joey Hand is calmly waiting here in pit lane. And Joey, a little bit of a surprise there under the caution that Bill came in and didn't take tires, just fuel only. I know you've been a bit concerned about the balance going away and the car getting loose during the practice runs.
Well, the BMW, we keep the tires on us pretty good. He wasn't too concerned about the tires. We just wanted to do a short fuel stop, as short a stop as we could, and get out there and get some track position, you know. So I think we're in good shape. It's working out right now. I hate to say that, but it's working out right now. Bill's doing a great job. He's got the tough job today. But we're going to put tires and fuel when I get in the car, and I think, I guess all I'm going to have to do is get in there and do the donuts at the end, right?
All right, he's looking forward to that. Let's go down to Chris.
Calvin down here with one of our reigning champions from last year and currently running in second place. Mark, you and Andy made it look easy at Homestead a few weeks ago, but they've made some concessions to the BMW since, giving them the motor they ran in GT last year. They're right back in this game. How can you guys compete with them?
It's tough. You can see from qualifying, those guys cover the first 4 spots, so you know it's a long race, and we're hoping we can sort of work our way back up there. We're happy with second, but yeah, I mean it's a tough situation where it's a Porsche track, and the BMW seem to have the edge here right now.
Well, Andy Lally's a good shoe, and I'm sure he's probably going to be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat on this one.
Andy Lally and his Auto Gallery Racers Group Porsche doing a great job here, but we did talk about the fact they do have an extra 100 pounds this weekend, and that has changed the performance on that Auto Gallery Porsche. If anybody can deal with it, Andy Lally can, as the fans look on some great competition here at California Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Speedway, the battle for 6th place. Andy Wallace has begun to drop back, and he's dropping back into the gun sights of Nick Janssen right now in the 67 Chrome TRG machine.
Brian, that could be as a result of tires. Unfortunately, Milka Dunno, in her qualifying attempt, had a couple of skirmishes. Maybe had flat-spotted tires and taken away from the 3 sets that most of these guys will have in the race. I don't think Andy had 3 sets left.
Well, that's a good point. You know, we talked about the 5-tire set limit that the Grand Am officials have put into place here in the Rolex Sports Car Series for the Daytona prototypes. And Milka had those problems in qualifying and burned up or flat-spotted 2 sets of tires, so that only left them 3 sets to play with. And you know, at least one of those sets,
they were practicing.
They had practiced on.
So where everybody else might have 3 brand new sets to go, I think Andy only has the 2, and that could be why we see him late in the race starting to fall.
You look back now, Andy Wallace working his way through GT traffic. That is your GT leaders first and second place there that Andy Wallace is trying to get through. And one more time, we've seen a DP able to use a GT car as somewhat of a pick. He drops the number 16 BMW in between himself and the 67 car. But meanwhile, the 19 has finally made it to pit road.
Yes, he has, and Michael Valiente locked it up as he brings it to a stop. He wanted a tune-up for possibly getting that champ car call next week. He just got one over 2 hours in the car. A great stint by Michael, but we have to really call a spade here. I think that call on strategy may have been a mistake here today. It may cost his team victory. As man Michael McDowell, the guy who dominated in the Star Master Series here last year, behind the wheel. Another great young hot shoe. Team is cleaning out the grill. A lot of rubber, a lot of marbles, as we call it, accumulated there. They don't want to overheat the motor. They're taking the tear off the windshield. Tires, fuel done. Great stop. But Michael McDowell stalls it. Stalls it. Back on the way. Let's go down to Chris.
Guys, checking in with the O2 right now. They are getting pretty busy down here. It looks like that car went in the wall, so they're everybody just stood up, ready for that car to come into pit lane. Looks like a pretty, not exactly what these guys were hoping for. Just talked with Gord Wagner. He's pretty excited about their run today. So obviously some problems here with Stefan Johansson.
We did not get a chance to see the problems with the O2 car that you talk about, Chris, but it'll be interesting to see if we see that car on pit road. But I've got to agree with Calvin as far as the 19. That last yellow was the opportune time to bring that car in. They did not. They had to pit under green, and that is going to cost them dearly. As you see some damage to the O2 car there on the left front. Looks like the mirror or something there is loose.
The mirror's falling off the top of the left front fender, but I don't know if that's what damage. You got a tire mark on the right side. The car doesn't look bad, really, by any means.
Yeah, but you know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have either mirror, Dorsey.
Now what's behind his no concern.
What is behind the mirror does not a concern of me. Yeah, well, it's not a Swedish accent. Obviously, Johansson in the car right now, but he has no means to see behind him as he tries to work his way through some of the GT traffic and back to pit road. Saw the 15 car flash by out of your screen there with Chris Bingham behind the wheel. Their debut here, doing a good job. The O2 struggling with the problems, Chris.
Yeah, Brian, originally anticipating Stefan Johansson bringing the New Century Riley into pit lane, but it looks like everything is okay with that car. They're going to have to do a couple more laps to make sure everything's fine with it. But right now, these guys I think they got by something here on the skin of their teeth. And it looks like Stefan Johansson just made a little bit of a mistake out there.
Still got that big hunk of paper or something, Chris, in the left front of the opening of the radiator. Sorry, he moved out of the way. But anyway, he's about 1/4 of his air inlet is completely blocked with some debris.
You wouldn't have thought it early on when Luis Diaz had the problems with the power steering, but the 01 car with the hands of Scott Pruitt has made it back to the front and now leads. We thought that car was down early on, but a familiar sight. Scott Pruitt in the 01 machine leading a Rolex Sports Car Series event.
I have raced many, many miles against this man, and this is what you do not want to see late in a race, him taking the lead for the first time. He's the master at just positioning himself and waiting with his car to pounce. The pounce has been made.
Well, the team has played everything perfectly. They played the fuel strategy and the yellow flags perfectly. I think that's a credit to Ganassi Racing. They're so strong, not only in preparation, but strategy as well. And strategy is what wins these long races.
And Scott Pruitt has put in so many miles and so many years of his life. He strategizes from inside the car. He will have a conversation going on with his crew chief, and believe me, he's on top of his game mentally.
But the 10 car, another familiar sight, won the first 2 races. Angelelli behind the wheel right now, and we can't count those guys out. Obviously, a pretty healthy race car, we think. I mean, obviously, he's been in some scrapes today, but a pretty healthy race car. Still struggling with the power steering.
Max is 5 seconds back right now. He's 5 seconds back. And we'll have to keep a look and see who's doing what to who on this one.
Well, don't forget, they said the 10 car very close on fuel. They are praying for a yellow flag. A yellow, 2 or 3 laps of yellow would give them the break that they needed. The question is, can Max really put the pedal all the way down in that car and run it as hard as he wants to? As you look at Scott Pruitt, who still leads here at California Speedway. A very familiar sight. The Commodore Ganassi entry running in front. All here stands by and watches. We'll see what happens at the checkered flag. Of your screen, Angelelli dropping back slightly into the clutches of Mike Borkowski. It looks like it. Pruitt has been able to pull out slightly on board the 10. You see the gap has picked up a little bit back to Scott Pruitt. Angelelli trying hard. He's got fuel to go the distance now, Dorsey. We know that.
They've got fuel to go the distance, but he's got another problem other than the fact that Scott Pruitt is disappearing. And it's Mike Markowski is right back there. Anybody who makes a mistake. Now, let me tell you something. If I'm Scott Pruitt and I've got a lead like this, and I only got 9 minutes to go, I'm looking at the mirror and I'm going, no, you cannot catch me. You can't catch me as long as I don't make mistakes. Don't make mistakes.
Pruitt experienced enough. He makes very few mistakes. And talk about another team that has not made mistakes. The 21 PTG BMW team driven right now by Joey Hand. Bill Auberland took that car to the point early on. Calvin, you got it?
Exactly, and Bill, it's been a smooth day for you. We've still got a few laps to go here, but certainly the performance of the car is much stronger than the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, Team PTG did a lot of homework. They allowed us to have an engine, which made us just back to a little bit competitive again. And, you know, the Porsches can still definitely run with us or outrun us, but we did this one. Joey's done a good stint. I had an okay time in the car, and it was great. And it's really nice to do it in Fontana. I have never won this race, so I'm knocking on wood, hoping to bring it home.
Okay, well, the team had a 1-2 finish here, but obviously Bill did not make it a victory lane. He's looking for better things today, Brian.
He says, knock on wood, he hit himself in the head. Bill Auberland has a harder head than Bill, I can tell you that. A tough competitor. But they'll see if their luck holds true and they can win this thing here at California Speedway. When we come back, some more action after this. On board with Max Angelelli, the Ferrari Maserati 400 from California Speedway. Angelelli trying to hunt down Scott Pruitt in the 01 car, but look at the lead Pruitt has been able to pull out. You saw him up in the distance, and now you look at Scott Pruitt leading here in a car that is not 100%. The power steering intermittent in that car at best. He has got to be worn out, but Angelelli taking the chase to him. Angelelli seems to really close a lot through the infield.
Well, it's down only to 2 seconds now, but it's also down, by my guess, at 2 laps or less.
Yeah, time ticking down inside 5 minutes, just about 4 minutes and 50 seconds in the last time we saw the clock. Not a lot of time left, but there's what we've talked about, one of the keys to the race, traffic. You just saw Pruitt go past a GT car. Now Angelelli works his way through. Don't forget, there are 42 cars out here on this racetrack. They may be relatively clean right now, but they're going to catch traffic before the end of this thing goes.
And Pruitt cannot allow himself to be trapped into anybody else's race right now. He's going to have to look way in front of him. That's what a driver needs to do. Look at those battles coming up and sense where you have to get by him. Don't get held up because Max the Axe is out coming.
Well, and it sounds crazy, but sometimes you're better off to slow down a little bit early on to make sure that you can lock into the hole so that you don't get held up and really parked in the middle of the corner in one of these faster Daytona prototype cars. So you got to pick your spot and make sure that, like you said, you're looking far enough ahead that you can figure out where you're going to gain the time or lose the least amount of time. You know you're going to lose some. You just have
You got to play it like a chess match right now. You see these guys coming and saying, all right, where am I going to catch them? Where do I need to be catching them? And you see right there, Max the Axe. They can see that's 1-2 right there. Caterpillar Sport report. There might be some smoke on the 01. I don't see any. I've been watching for it. Could have been just some red smoke. We know how hard these two are pushing.
probably coming out of Scott Pruitt's forearms.
It will be. He will be a tired boy.
On board the 54 car, Kellerner's in the car at this point in time in the race. In the 19, Michael McDowell just went past it.
There he is, Michael McDowell, right there in the windscreen. Very dirty windscreen.
McDowell trying to take that car back up to the point. If they could finish on the podium, that would be a great recovery for them. Do believe they must have made a mistake. They did make a mistake, but they did not come in on that last yellow and make that driver change. They had to stop under green, as we chronicled it earlier, and they've now dropped the lead back to 8th.
There's no question that car was capable of winning this race. It was right there. It was a mistake, without a doubt. Chris?
Guys, down here with Luis Diaz. Luis, you got your first pole. It looks like you're probably going to get your first win. How nervous are you right now?
Well, I'm really very nervous, but I know Scott is the best driver in the field, and I think that all the guys did a great job today, and we're very close.
Well, these guys have stuck with it. It looks like they're going to come out with their first win of the year.
With 2.5 minutes left to go, if Chris Neville had said, it looks like you're going to get your first win, I think it would have taken the microphone away and hit him in the head with it.
Well, I know right now we have at least 2 laps because they just went past the starter's line. There was no line out, so Scotty's going to have to do his best. Calvin?
Well, Wayne Taylor is nervous at the best of times, but right now in these closing laps, you got your teammate out there doing his job. Can he catch Scott? Does he have enough? He's closing the gap, it looks like.
Yeah, I think the 01 car started smoking through the tri-oval. I'm not sure. I think there's only 2 laps to go. We have the best man in there right now, so if anybody can do it, he can.
All right, they're going for 3 in a row, and they got the best man in the business, Wayne Taylor believes, behind the wheel, Brian.
Well, Wayne believes that, but they're also getting help from traffic right now, too. Dorsey, we talked about it. 3 GT cars really slowed up Pruitt as they came through the 3-4 complex. Looks like Angelelli was able to get through cleanly, but another car, GT car, blocks Angelelli now.
Max Angelelli is right there. Don't make no mistake about it. He's the next car up. There's only 5 car lengths between the two of them. They're going to have a 2-lap sprint here to the finish. Pruitt does not need any more help from these slower cars.
Yeah, Pruitt just blocked by the GT car. He pulls over out of the way. Angelelli gets clear sailing by, and that has definitely closed the gap between the two.
There's no way Scott Pruitt is going to make this an easy pass. It's going to be an ugly situation before he gets that 10 car by.
They'll probably only have 1 lap to go when they get to the line this time. They'll have 2.8 miles to get it done.
And there will be traffic. There is no question there'll be traffic in front of these guys.
Onto the super speedway. Pruitt brings his 01 Lexus machine. The white flag waves. 1 lap to go.
5 car lengths between those 2 cars, and there are cars in front of them that have to be dealt with on the infield.
Taylor, reason to be nervous. Angelelli taking the fight to Pruitt right now around the banking. And it's the brake zone where Angelelli excels, and they're coming up to one of the hardest braking zones right now.
With the car in front of them that they're going to have to deal with. There goes Pruitt to the inside of that car that stays out of the way. That's the Taffel car. Saw it coming.
Look at Angelelli closed under braking up underneath the back end of the 01 machine. Now Pruitt gets a launch off the corner, pulls a couple, but another hard braking zone here.
And look at all the traffic racing for position right in front of them. These guys, look at their nervousness. There's Wayne Taylor. He can't believe what's happening. Half a lap to go.
Angelelli still pushing, using all the racetrack. Luis Diaz looking at the monitors, watching our speed broadcast. Going, come on, Scott. I want to taste the champagne. I want victory.
And Scott wants it too. Look at all the cars up in front of Scott.
Look at the GT cars.
And these guys are racing for position. And Angelelli's right there. Any mistake now is going to be all over.
Angelelli's coming, and there's a little chicane here that they talked about earlier in the drivers' meeting. It's going to be tough for Pruitt to get past these guys. They've got to be looking in their mirrors, but right now Scott Pruitt is on the march. No one's going to get in his way. If they do, they're going to
Nicely done. He used that guy as a pick. That definitely held up the 10 just enough.
One more car to deal with it in one of the slowest sections of the racetrack. The GT car slides wide, but Pruitt can't get underneath him. Angelelli gets the momentum as they come onto the banking.
He's going to go high. He's going to get a run on the top.
Side by side as they come to the line. Angelelli looking for the draft as they come to the line. Checkered flag, Scott Pruitt.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just witnessed the closest finish in Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series history. What a race it was. It came down to all of that at the end. Stick around for the champagne and the celebrations when we come back. And I think we saw anything today, and if anybody should get a crown for their achievement, it would be Scott Pruitt. That's Pruitt's 5th Daytona Prototype win. The first win for Luis Diaz in Daytona Prototypes, and more importantly, the first win in 2005 for that team. They have gotten the monkey off their back, and I would think that Scott Pruitt's forearms would be worn out as he gets unbuckled from the car, and the celebration about to begin. Chris is standing by.
Brian, down here with Scott Pruitt. Scott, your 5th DP win, Luis Diaz's 1st. What a win for you guys. You kept your nose clean. Tell us about that last lap with Angelelli.
Well, first is Luis did a great job. We lost the power steering, so that was a lot of Armstrong there. Hi to my family at home. It was close. I mean, with all that traffic, we were inside, outside, and we were trying to make any sort of move we could. But you know, the Comp USA guys got us down the pits. Alexis gave us a good engine, and we had enough to get to the end. But with that traffic, it was so close. It was unbelievable.
Well, these guys played a smart game today. Calvin?
Well, down here with Max Angelelli, I know you wanted that win so bad. Talk about those last few corners. How close was it to victory today?
Pretty close, as everybody has seen. I just blame myself. I had a little chance, and I could try, and I didn't try. I mean, I tried not hard enough, and that is last lap. a little bit pissed for that. Anyway, I know my teammate boss is pretty happy, so that is my target, to make him happy.
Well, sometimes at the end of the year when he reflects, getting those points today may give them the championship, boys.
Yeah, I think that second place will do them good deeds in the championship. You don't want to throw it away as you'll look at the results from here today. Daytona Prototypes, Pruitt and Diaz with the victory, their first of the season. Taylor and Angelelli hold on to second place.
Here with our GT winner, Joey Hand. Joey, what a day for you guys. You guys been worried about the Porsches the first 2 rounds. You guys got a little bit more motor this weekend, put you back in the hot seat.
Yeah, you know, the motor helped, but this is a handling track, and this is where this BMW M3 really works the best. It's rough stuff, handling, and you know, we had it from the get-go this weekend. We felt it. Bill did a great job early on. The boys in the pits, PTG, man, they put it together on pit stops. I couldn't even get belted in fast enough, man. So yeah, it's a great day. It's my first finishing win. I'm excited. I can't wait for the next race at Laguna.
Well, we still got a long season ahead of us, and the PTG boys are pretty excited. They're back in the fight. They're back in the fight.
They are definitely back in the fight. Auberlin in hand with the victory, as we talked about. Mark Bunting and Andy Lawley will hold on to their points lead in GT with a second place finish. What a great job by David Murray. Double duty today, partnering with Craig Stanton for third. Patrick Long, brand new team. He and Pat Flanagan finishing fourth. Michael Levitas and Jean-Francois Dumoulin end up finishing fifth. Your biggest movers award, the number 2, Howard Boss entry, started 21st, finished fourth, 17 positions they gained. And in GT, the 73 car of Tafel Racing started 23rd and finished 8th, an improvement of 15 positions. Anytime you can improve that many positions, double digits around California Speedway with this kind of traffic, Dorsey, that's pretty impressive.
Well, I tell you, it took a lot to bring the cream to the top, but they got there, and the 2 strongest teams from last year won too.
Well, make sure you join us Sunday, May 1st, when Grand American Rolex Sports Car Series takes to the track at Mazda Laguna Seca Raceway. If you thought today was exciting, wait till we get to the natural terrain surface of Laguna Seca. It will be awesome. Final thoughts, Dorsey?
Well, I can't wait to get to Laguna Seca because this is a tough racetrack to do all the racing on, and they got it done.
Well, for Dorsey Schroeder, Calvin Fish, and Chris Neville down at pit lane, I'm Brian Till. We'll see you the next time when we bring you Rolex sports car action from Laguna Seca. Take care. Make sure you join us.